Tonight, the balance of power is shifting, from the chambers of the United Nations to the oil-rich waters of the Indian Ocean. Somalia is no longer watching history. Somalia is shaping it. Global powers are choosing sides. Turkey is deploying military support. Russia and China are backing Somalia at the United Nations. Saudi Arabia, Africa, and Europe are pushing back. The United States is under pressure. And for the first time in decades, Somalia is presiding over the United Nations Security Council. At the same time, a major oil and gas breakthrough is rewriting the country's future, while Israel's recognition of Somaliland ignites a geopolitical firestorm across the Horn of Africa. Is this the rise of a new Somalia, or the start of a dangerous global confrontation? This is Africa Timeline, and these are the 13 breaking news stories the world is watching right now.
Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has pledged continued and critical support to Somalia in strengthening its security forces. Speaking at a joint press conference with Somali President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud in Istanbul, Erdogan highlighted Turkey's role in training and equipping the Somali National Army through the Turksom military training facility. "We are proud of the tangible successes Somali forces have achieved in the fight against terrorism," Erdogan said. Progress in security has also created space for political reforms in Somalia. He noted that 2026 will mark 60 years of diplomatic relations between Turkey and Somalia, and reaffirmed Ankara's commitment to Somalia's stability and security. Regarding Israel's recognition of Somaliland, Erdogan declared that Turkey will spare no effort in protecting Somalia's sovereignty and territorial integrity. "Protecting Somalia's unity and territorial integrity is our top priority," he said, calling Israel's move illegal and unacceptable. President Erdogan concluded by emphasizing Turkey's ongoing projects in Somalia aimed at boosting the prosperity of the Somali people through enhanced military, security, and strategic cooperation.
Somalia has officially assumed the rotating presidency of the United Nations Security Council for the month of January, marking a historic moment in the country's diplomatic comeback. For decades, Somalia was defined by conflict and isolation. Today, it stands at the very center of global decision-making. As president of the 15-member council, Somalia will chair high-level meetings, guide discussions on international peace and security, and oversee key resolutions and presidential statements. Diplomats say the role reflects growing international confidence in Mogadishu, following Somalia's return to the council as a non-permanent member. This presidency comes at a time of intense global tensions, with wars and political divisions testing world powers. Somali officials say the position is an opportunity to promote multilateralism, defend international law, and push African-led solutions. For Somalia, this is more than symbolic. It is a clear message to the world. Somalia is back, and Somalia is shaping global decisions once again.
President Erdogan delivered one of the strongest rejections yet of Israel's recognition of Somaliland. Calling the move illegal and unacceptable, Erdogan warned it threatens regional stability and undermines Somalia's sovereignty. He emphasized that Turkey's top priority is protecting Somalia's unity and territorial integrity under all circumstances. This statement places Turkey at the forefront of international opposition to any attempt to divide Somalia.
Somalia stands on the brink of a potential economic transformation. President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud recently announced that scientific and technical studies have confirmed promising results in the country's oil and gas exploration efforts. For a nation long affected by conflict and instability, this discovery could mark a historic turning point. Officials believe these findings have the potential to generate massive revenue that could be invested in rebuilding critical infrastructure, strengthening national security, and improving the lives of millions of Somalis. If successfully developed, Somalia could join the ranks of oil-producing nations in Africa, reshaping its geopolitical importance and future prosperity. This breakthrough opens a new chapter filled with hope and opportunity for Somalia's people.
An advanced Turkish drilling ship, Çağrı, is preparing to head to Somali waters, marking a major step forward in energy cooperation between the two countries. This move signals a transition from exploration to the possibility of full-scale production. Experts say Somalia could soon join the ranks of Africa's oil-producing nations, a development that could significantly reshape the country's economic future. If successful, this breakthrough may also elevate Somalia's geopolitical importance in the Horn of Africa and beyond. This could be a historic turning point for Somalia's energy sector.
China has stepped firmly into the diplomatic spotlight with a strong and clear message. Beijing has expressed grave concern over Israel's recent recognition of Somaliland, emphasizing that Somaliland is an inseparable part of Somalia. China's statement serves as a firm warning to external actors, urging them to stop interfering in Somalia's internal affairs and to respect international law. This diplomatic move by China adds significant weight to Somalia's stance on the issue, highlighting support from one of the world's most powerful nations. Analysts believe China's involvement could influence regional dynamics and discourage further unilateral actions that threaten Somalia's sovereignty. As tensions continue to rise, the international community watches closely, understanding that this development may shape the future of peace and stability in the Horn of Africa.
At the United Nations Security Council, Russia has publicly reaffirmed its firm support for Somalia's unity and territorial integrity. Moscow emphasized that any attempts to fragment Somalia pose a direct threat to international peace and stability. As a permanent member of the Security Council, Russia's position carries significant weight on the global diplomatic stage. This strong backing boosts Somalia's efforts to maintain sovereignty and discourages actions that could undermine the country's cohesion. Experts say Russia's stance could influence other nations and send a clear message against external interference in Somalia's internal affairs. The international community watches closely as Somalia navigates these complex diplomatic challenges with powerful allies standing by its side.
France has pledged its continued support for Somalia's government and its ongoing fight against extremist groups. At the United Nations, French representatives commended Somali security forces for their successful efforts in liberating territories from terrorist control. They emphasized that defeating extremism is essential not only for Somalia, but for the stability of the entire region. France's strong backing reinforces Somalia's international security partnerships and signals a shared commitment to peace and counterterrorism. Analysts say this support will boost morale among Somali forces and strengthen cooperation with global allies. As Somalia continues its battle against violent extremists, international solidarity remains crucial in securing lasting peace.
Saudi Arabia has firmly rejected Israel's recent recognition of Somaliland. Riyadh warned that creating parallel entities threatens Somalia's stability and violates international law. The kingdom emphasized that such actions undermine efforts toward peace and national unity in Somalia. Saudi Arabia reaffirmed its strong support for Somalia's legitimate government and institutions. This clear stance highlights Riyadh's commitment to respecting Somalia's sovereignty and territorial integrity. Regional experts say Saudi Arabia's position adds diplomatic pressure against unilateral moves that could destabilize the Horn of Africa. As tensions rise, international voices like Saudi Arabia's are shaping the future of Somalia's political landscape.
The United Kingdom has publicly reaffirmed that it does not recognize Somaliland's claim to independence. London called for dialogue and peaceful negotiations between Mogadishu and Hargeisa to resolve their differences. The UK also reiterated its strong financial and security support for Somalia, including funding critical stabilization and counter-terrorism efforts. British officials emphasized that Somalia's unity and sovereignty remain central to regional peace and security. This clear position reinforces the UK's commitment to Somalia's government and long-term stability. Analysts say continued international backing is vital as Somalia faces ongoing political and security challenges.
South Africa has issued a warning that Israel's recent recognition of Somaliland could destabilize the Horn of Africa. Pretoria emphasized the importance of respecting established borders, a fundamental principle upheld by the African Union. This principle is designed to prevent conflict and maintain peace across the region. South African officials expressed concern that actions undermining Somalia's territorial integrity risk triggering wider instability. The statement highlights the need for dialogue and cooperation to safeguard regional security. Experts say South Africa's warning adds significant diplomatic weight to ongoing discussions about peace and sovereignty in the Horn of Africa. As tensions rise, the international community watches closely to see how this situation unfolds.
At an emergency session of the United Nations, the United States firmly defended Israel's right to conduct diplomatic relations. However, Washington made it clear that it has not recognized Somaliland's independence. This statement sparked sharp debate among Security Council members, highlighting growing divisions over the issue. The controversy reflects wider geopolitical tensions and differing views on Somalia's territorial integrity. Analysts say the U.S. position complicates efforts to find a unified approach to peace and stability in the Horn of Africa. As discussions continue, the international community remains deeply divided on the path forward.
The federal government of Somalia has launched a blistering diplomatic attack on Israel at the United Nations Security Council. Somalia accuses Israel of violating its sovereignty by reportedly recognizing the breakaway region of Somaliland and plotting to forcibly relocate Palestinians to the territory. In a strong statement, Somalia's permanent representative to the UN, Ambassador Abukar Dahir Osman, called Israel's actions a flagrant assault on Somalia's unity. Speaking for the A3+ bloc, which includes African Security Council members plus Guyana, Ambassador Osman said any deal between Israel and Somaliland breaks international law. He stressed that Somaliland lacks the legal right to engage in foreign relations independently from Mogadishu. Ambassador Osman warned that this move aims to fragment Somalia and destabilize the Red Sea region. Furthermore, Somalia categorically rejects reports that Palestinians might be forcibly relocated to Somaliland, calling such plans morally reprehensible and unlawful. He urged the international community and the UN Security Council to stand united against these immoral actions and uphold Somalia's sovereignty. Somalia insists no external actor has the right to alter its territorial integrity, warning Israel's move threatens regional and global peace.
As global powers line up, Somalia stands at a defining crossroads. With rising diplomatic support, growing military partnerships, and historic energy discoveries, the nation's future is being reshaped before the world's eyes. The question now is simple. Will unity and diplomacy prevail, or will foreign interference ignite deeper instability? This is Africa Timeline. Stay informed, stay ahead.